All right then, good afternoon. It is a fine afternoon. Lovely to be here in the company of Harshit Ahuja and Siddharth Vishwanathan, who's sporting a new look.
New look, Siddharth Vishwanathan, new era, new look.
He's got a plus number, which he doesn't have to wear while sitting. It's only for reading. Plus is for reading.
And glare.
Minus is for things further away. And glare.
New look, yeah. He's come back.
It's nice.
It's what this tells me is our man's come back reinvigorated, reignited.
Of course, he's going to do so many chuttis. He will be. Did one before IPL, one after IPL. He'll do now one after England series, one before this series.
No, now there is no more.
Now there is
Till March next year.
Depends. We have a very low sporting calendar when you look at it in December. It's not that busy as it was. November we are
So
back.
he's already told us that December he's going on leave.
Depends. I have to ensure that my kids' holiday and my holiday, they match. Otherwise, then it's not possible.
Okay, there is big news coming in from Headingley. I thought let's share that before we dive into the romanticism of test match cricket and how we're all looking forward to a 5 test match series. By the way, we look forward to your company as well. So this is just the start. It is the first live of the first test match. It's a long series going on till the first week of August. So we look forward to your company throughout these 5 test matches. But as I said, there is big news coming in from Headingley, and the big news is that Sai Sudharsan is making his test debut. No surprises there. If you saw a preview yesterday, we had said he didn't make it to our ideal 11, but we had also said that Indian team will definitely play him because the signs of him making a debut were made clear yesterday only during practice session, where there were visuals of Gautam Gambhir in a sense congratulating Sai Sudharsan, shaking hands and telling him, "You're in, my friend."
Not just that, not just what we saw yesterday and we're getting to pick up for a couple of days now. Everything that's been happening since IPL, the way he was inducted, the way he was spoken of, I think you knew that the man at some stage will definitely be playing in this long series, and it obviously became clearer as we approached the first day of the test match.
Yeah, I mean, not that I agree with it. I thought that you should have gone with...
None of us agreed with it here in this room yesterday. Yeah.
What position? Number 3 or opening for him?
3. How can he open? KL and Jaiswal are your openers. Rishabh Pant, I think, pretty much said that.
Yeah.
He did.
So he confirmed it. KL and
Jaiswal. Sudarshan at
will
3.
be your opener. Sudarshan at 3. 4 is Gill. 5 is Pant. This much you know. I mean, of course, Karun will be 6. We can take a educated guess, but I'm just saying this much now you know. With Sai Sudharsan confirmed, making his debut, which we're confirming now, he is playing, so he is definitely coming in at number 3. The other bit that we kind of can confirm is that SHARDUL Thakur will also be in the 11.
Of course.
Because he has marked his run-up.
It was Shea Pujara who handed the cap to Sai Sudharsan.
Sudharsan.
Perfect.
What
number 3
number
given
3
to a number
the
3.
cap by one of your best number 3s.
He's still an active cricketer. One active number 3 giving it to the other.
Yeah. And what a way when you look at it. I mean, Sai Sudharsan, June 20th, and Indian cricket has got a lot of very memorable debuts. I mean, 29 years ago, we saw Ganguly and Dravid make their debuts in England at Lords. Ganguly made 131, Dravid made 95. And we all know how that story developed. And 14 years ago, you saw a certain Virat making his debut at Kingston. And let's see how June 20th helps Sai Sudharsan making his debut.
Wow.
Whether that will be a story which will have a long...
So there is Virat, Dravid, Ganguly.
Yes.
We could look back in history and maybe find some more, no?
In the modern era, when you have to look at it, see, I'm more concerned about a first test of a Sena country. Because India last, if you look at England, when did they win? I'm not talking about a draw.
You drew 21.
You last won in 1986. The first test in England. You didn't win in
Also
90.
the series that you eventually won.
Yeah, you didn't win in 90. You didn't win in 96. You didn't win in 2002 because you lost at Lords, you won at Leeds. 7, you drew at Lords, but you won at Trent Bridge. 11, we all know the story. 14.
11, let's not even get
Yeah.
there.
14, you drew at Trent Bridge and won at Lords, but then you lost the other 3.
Yeah.
18, you didn't win the first test. You lost at Edgbaston. 21, you drew.
You drew the first one, you won the second, you lost the third.
You won the fourth.
You won the fourth, you
lost
took
the-
a break.
Yeah. You lost the fifth. So that's why I'm more concerned about India winning the first test in a Sena country. That is the only thing that I'm looking forward to, because if
You did it this time, BGT?
yeah, you won the BGT, but then you know how it panned out later on. There is a reason why India have not won many fight tests.
It's important for India to start well, hopefully with points, all points on the WTC points table and a win in the series, because of the primary reason that this is a young side.
Yeah.
Now the moment that there's too many question marks already, they start the series with a few question marks. If you lose the first test match, those question marks just increase, problems just compound, and then this team will be pushed into a territory where it's doubting itself even more, which it already must be, because it's a young side looking to establish itself. But if you lose the first one, then you're thinking if whatever you've been doing in terms of preparation, if that's right, and that could induce too many changes as well. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah, but then see, Leeds, again, I'm telling people that why we should be a bit confident, because this is not the old England where you have to be really wary about it. Sunny, the pitch is brown with green patches. It is not the Leeds where you've been undone by seam and swing. I mean, if I look at it, 1952, you were 0 for 4 in 1952. But then on the same Leeds deck, overcast, green as a tennis court, a Wimbledon tennis court, you hit 628.
Yeah.
But then in 21, you again fell out for 76. So that's why it's a very extreme kind of a situation when you look at it. So yeah, it's a question of India's bowling versus England's batting. There are definite weaknesses in all
Is
of
there
that.
something you're perplexed about?
No, I was just seeing some of the interesting bits.
Acha. I thought
I'm not 100% sure.
some
that's why.
little birdie told you something else.
No.
Oh, which point were you not 100% sure of that?
No.
Okay.
Not that. Something else.
So yes.
I was double checking.
Little birdie's quiet.
There are so many birdies. Which one? Birdies are never quiet.
Yeah, they always
They're chirping.
Little birdies are never, and there are so many, no? If you really want to know what is the conversation,
The
what
birdie
is the
we-
chirping, you need to make friends with a lot of birdies. You cannot figure out just immediately.
One birdie was on TV right now. The other one only, na?
One was on. There's so many birdies.
Yeah. One of them was on TV. So he couldn't have been the one.
He's not a little birdie. He's huge.
He's a big shark.
Yeah.
Shark we're talking about in the sky. Suddenly you're shifted from sky to water.
He's a
You may say it's the falcon.
albatross.
Oh, falcon. Albatross
Falcon.
has got negative connotations.
Right.
It's like a big albatross around your neck. I mean, it often bogs you down.
Okay.
That's the thing. So yeah.
So, as I said, news coming in. Shardul Thakur, Sai Sudharsan, 2 players that are going to be playing in the 11. Does that mean no place for Kuldeep Yadav?
I don't think so. Anyway, in most England pitches, you're not going to play 2 spinners anyway. There was
Because
a
if
Jaddu.
you did not play a Shardul, maybe you could have looked at.
But
there is also
things indicated that Shardul will be there, and as we were talking yesterday as well, Shardul, had he been fit, you would have probably played him in BGT as well. Once he's available, once he's fit, I think he starts ahead of Kuldeep, and Kuldeep doesn't play ahead of a Jadeja. That's very clear.
No, but there is there's a possibility now. India goes with 2 other fast bowlers, Shardul Thakur and 2 spinners.
Yesterday, skipper said 3 to 4 pacers.
So 3 pacers will include a Shardul, na?
That might happen if a Bumrah rests one particular test match. Because he's not playing all 5. He may rest a test match or 2 in that, supposing Oval. Oval is the driest. When you come to August, it will be drier. Yeah. So there you may play 2 spinners. That is the only possibility that I
But
look
you know,
at.
if that 2002 Test match India played both Kumble and Harbhajan.
Both Kumble and Harbhajan in Leeds.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm
they were
talking
the
about,
guys.
this Test match
3
only.
each.
Yeah, I think they
Three
took
each.
7 wickets in the second innings when you look
Your
at it.
bowling attack were the two spinners, Kumble Harbhajan,
Zahir.
Ajit Agarkar, Zahir Khan.
Sanjay Bangar also chipped in
Sanjay
that.
Bangar, yes.
Sanjay Bangar opened with Sehwag.
Opened, yes.
No, but I'm talking about your
Ashish,
bowling.
He got a 50 as well, if I'm not wrong.
There was Agarkar, Zahir for sure.
Ashish,
And there were the two spinners. Unless they only played with 4.
they played only 4, I guess.
And Bangar being the fifth.
Fifth,
bowling.
yes.
And Saurav to an extent.
Yeah, but Bangar got some key, I think got 1 wicket if I'm not mistaken.
And he got a 50.
He got very vital 50,
It's a
68.
bad match, everyone got runs.
Yeah,
There were
except
3
Sehwag.
centurions there and almost
Except Sehwag.
almost a double centurion as well. You
Yeah,
had.
148, 193, 128. Those were the 3.
Everybody got runs in.
Yeah, 2002. So, yeah.
So I'm saying it's not a bad option even here, because again, all the talk about pitch and the green pitch, I mean, the latest visuals seem to suggest it's nice and brown.
Brown with some green patches.
As we said yesterday as well, it's not going to be as green as things were over the last couple of days, and it does look like that 8 which is pretty much the standard now, be it England, be it Australia.
Could be. I mean, see, it won't be a bad option. To play Kuldeep also in this. It's not a bad option. Because, see, England pitches are not like the past. It's
England
now,
have gone with the specialist spinner.
yeah, Shoaib Bashir.
No, but they can go with both. They can go with a Kuldeep, Jadeja, Shardul, and 2 fast bowlers.
Siraj,
That's 5
Bumrah.
bowlers.
But he's, with the breakup that we got from Gill yesterday, it made room for 4 pacers, including then a Shardul. So you are then going with 3 out and out guys, I feel.
No, yeah, I think that's the most.
See, pitches have changed in England totally. Okay, so there is a possibility where you could play 2 spinners in majority of the test matches also, because they want flat brown pitches. It's not
Yes.
going to be total green pitches like what you saw pre-Bazball.
Yeah.
So that is why, because why they have done it? Because if India were to play on the old pitches in England, their bowling is far superior. England's bowling isn't that superior.
Also, it doesn't suit England's philosophy at the moment,
Exactly.
right? The philosophy is to score runs. Probably, you get enough runs on a single day and look for declaration early on day 2. That's the kind of philosophy they're playing with. If they are to bat first, they're the team that are looking at easily about 300, 320 runs by end of day 1. You add another 80 odd the next day, and this is a team that's looking to declare a first hour of second day.
Look, this team, it is the last chance saloon for this so-called philosophy to stay even remotely alive. Because in 2023 and in 2024, against the 2 best pace bowling attacks, this philosophy completely failed. Against Australia and against India. Now, if it doesn't do well, see,
I think it's now pretty much confirmed, just to let you know, it's pretty much confirmed. The toss will happen and the team will be out, that KARUN Nair will bat at 6, which we expected. And Shardul, of course, as we said, is marked as run-up, will be there. And there will be 3 fast bowlers.
3 fast bowlers. So
Krishna
Prasidh,
being your-
Siraj.
Siraj Bumrah.
Yeah, and Prasidh being your third fast bowler.
fast
So
Yeah.
I know as in there was still debate. So it now seems pretty much 100% certain that your 11 is this. I think we can say it even before toss is done. That KL Rahul, Yashasvi Jaiswal open, Sai Sudharsan at 3, Gill, Pant, KARUN Nair,
Jaddu.
followed by Jadeja, followed by
Shardul.
and then your 3 fast bowlers, Prasidh, Siraj and Bumrah. This is going to be your 11. We're still waiting for the official update. England have won the toss.
And they may want to bat.
No,
No,
they're
they'll
bowling.
bowl.
They're bowling first.
Yeah, even I think they'll
bowling.
bowl. I think both teams, whichever wins the toss,
It's sunny though today,
may
but even
Okay,
then.
elect
it's
to
sunny
bowl.
conditions, opted to bowl, yeah.
No, because overall teams that have been chasing have done well in England, chasing
At
by
this
the time
venue as
you-
well.
Overall, by the time you get to your 4th innings, it's the best time to chase. And if there is any purchase that you can get for the bowlers at any point of the test match, it'll be the first couple of hours on day 1. So
first day.
if you're not going to be utilizing it at that time, then what's the point of winning the toss? So I think the most sensible, and just now you saw a WTC final that panned out just that same way, where South Africa did decide to bowl and then chased it down quite comfortably as conditions got better. I know different
on day
grounds,
3,
but conditions got better. So with that in mind, this is what England had to do, and I think it's a massive toss to win.
Yeah.
It will make a huge difference in England, and no surprise that they'll be bowling first, which means that all of us who are very excited to see a Gill bat at number 4, who are excited to see KARUN make a return after so long, we're so excited to see how Sai Sudharsan goes in his test debut. All of those things we will get to see on
But
day one.
hopefully not all of it today. Hopefully Karun we
See.
get to see tomorrow. Gill also tomorrow.
But even if he comes in today, it still may not be a bad day.
250 for
So
6.
then you would have been-
4 down, he'll be in. A 4 down at the end of the day is not a bad thing.
True.
It's not a bad position.
Not a bad
Even if he bats today.
See,
you
you
take
can't
that
be
any
like
day.
2019 when you got bundled over 67 or 76 in 2021.
Yeah.
And now got Ashes also. Fourth innings chase, England made 362 at the same venue.
And I think the worry should not be will you get to see that or not. The worry should be hopefully you don't get to see the English
Batting
today.
14
That'll
wickets,
be-
kind of first day that we saw at Lords.
That will be the
WTC.
thing that you have to
Yeah.
wish against, that you don't get to see the England batting today. India, any batter coming in today is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah. First,
Not gonna
first major test for Yashasvi in England. I mean, you look at it in the warm-up games, he was hit and miss.
Yeah.
He did have certain hits, but there were a lot more misses in that sense. So, big test even for Yashasvi, and let's hope that he can cope up with the conditions. Although I think you should be coping up in these conditions. Yeah, this is not like the old England that we have seen. So yes, I have confirmation from Shubman Gill that yes, Sai will bat at 3 and Karun comes in at 6.
Because you knew 4, 5 and then number 6.
Or will
has
there
to
be a swap? Karun at 5 and Rishabh at 6.
No, Rishabh's already said that
I will bat at 5.
he will bat at 5 and Gill bats at 4.
Wow.
No. So just a few things that Shubman Gill has said. Firstly, he said that he would have bowled first too, which is not a surprise. As I said,
Yeah.
that any captain that would have won the toss today would have elected to bowl first to ensure that you get some sort of purchase from the pitch, and it's the first couple of hours that they can get. So both captains wanted that, which is why I think it's a good toss for England to win. He has also said might be a bit tough in the first session, but it should be good to bat on later. So all the best to KL and Yashasvi Jaiswal and Sai Sudharsan. The top 3 will have to do the bulk of spending time, being patient, shouldering arms. That's what you will need to do the first couple of hours.
No chasing deliveries outside off stump, please.
The joke was that chasing outside, edged and taken is going to be replaced with gap between bat and pad at number 4. At number 4.
Oh no. See, it's the basic thing. What's Shubman Gill is echoing, it's the same thing that has been done for every test matches that's been played for 150 years. First session will always be tough. First hour will always be tough.
Crucial 1 hour.
Crucial 1 hour.
No, but it's the first session of the first day which becomes crucial, which he's pointing out. From there on, I think day 2, day 3, day 4, if it goes to day 4 or day 5, it'll be interesting. So in that sense, I guess it is going to be tough to begin with, at least on a juicy track. So England in that sense have the aces up their sleeves, a young bowling attack, but against a batting lineup that may find it very tough in the first hour. So it's going to be a good battle. But I hope for the sake of a Sai Sudharsan, to calm his nerves down, to ease him into a debut. A lot will depend on a Yashasvi Jaiswal and KL Rahul to spend time. No problem if you don't get runs in the first hour at least. Just keep shouldering arms, play a solid defense. Few runs here and there is okay, no problem. Because if you're a debutant, you see that for 1 hour, at least it calms your nerves down, okay. There's some sort of start. And if you come after that, you're in a better position. Rather than walking out in over number 3 or over number 4 to come and bat, that won't be ideal. Anyway, the playing 11 is out. Let me run you through the playing 11. It's pretty much what we had thought the Indian team will go with when we were discussing yesterday. It wasn't our ideal 11, but we pretty much knew what the Indian team would be doing. And this is the team. Yashasvi Jaiswal, KL Rahul are going to be opening. Sai Sudharsan making his debut on the 20th of June, as Siddharth pointed out, joining an illustrious list of Virat Kohli, Saurav Ganguly, Rahul Dravid, people to make their debut on 20th of June. No pressure. Complete. No pressure at all.
Yes,
Sai Sudharsan.
absolutely.
It's 20th.
If you get lucky, you can get 100 as well. The left hand has done that in the past.
No, there's two ways of looking at that. One that, wow, the gods are conspiring, the dates, the numerology, the planets are aligning for me to have a good test career. If I've got it on 20th June like these big names, I have a bright future. That's one way of approaching it. The other is like, boy, if now I don't even,
See, it does not say, it's not like Friday the 13th, it's Friday the 20th.
If you're born anywhere between the 7th or the 10th of July, you're destined to be India captain. There's a couple of those. And so I think 9th of July is still missing. Moment you find...
No, there is Gavaskar, Dhoni, Saurav.
Yes.
3.
I think 9th is missing. I think 9th is missing. But anyway, so 9th, if you were born on the 9th, you play cricket, you could be India captain.
Yeah, no, but just getting back to the point that at hand, 20th of June. So the second way of looking at it is from Sai Sudharsan is that if I don't in this series get 100, then I've let the 20th of June down.
Yes. Although, see, Virat didn't have a good start in Kingston. He also didn't score 100 or get a 50.
Look where he ended up, na?
Yeah. Look where Ganguly and Dravid ended up, though. But although Ganguly hit 100, Dravid didn't get 100.
But 90 is good enough.
95.
Yeah, that's good enough. That's good enough. That's what I'm saying.
Lords. Ganguly, in fact, had 500s in the first 15-20 tests.
You're saying as if 100 is a compulsion. You ask Sai Sudharsan 95, he'll lie down, do... do whatever you ask him to do.
Take it, both hands.
You offer him a 95.
Yeah. I mean,
any day.
Yeah, that was a very interesting. That was also a transitionary period in Indian cricket. You got legends who stepped up, and I think Ganguly made it because Sidhu wasn't there, and Dravid made it because Manjrekar wasn't there.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Sidhu because he infamously left the tour, and Manjrekar was unfit.
Ankle injury.
He was not fit. So because of that, they got overnight chances. So Sai Sudharsan, all the very best. 20th of June, live up to the billing of the date. A lot of pressure on him. Making his debut, was given his debut cap by Cheteshwar Pujara. I think that's also a good omen from a good solid number 3 to the new number 3 that India has. By the way, Gill is also confirmed. Sai Sudharsan is definitely batting at number 3. Then you've got Shubman Gill, the new number 4. The most high profile batting position in Indian cricket from Sachin Tendulkar to Virat Kohli to now. In fact, even previous to that, Vengsarkar was 3. He was to be 3, and then when Gundappa Vishwanath, I think, retired, then he got a chance. So he also, because he was the number 1 batter, then he said, no, I'll go to number 4. So number 4 is this prestige.
For 40 plus years, it's been...
So that the number 1 batter of your team has been the number 4. I think before that you can't say that because Gavaskar was number 1, and he used to bat as an opener. So the best batter of your team, effectively, from Gundappa Vishwanath to because Vishwanath coincided with Gavaskar, so you can't say that. But from Vengsarkar onwards, Tendulkar, Kohli.
No pressure.
Shubman Gill. No pressure.
No pressure, Gill.
No pressure, Gill. Yes.
So he's going to be at number 4, and then you've got Rishabh Pant, your vice captain at 5. Karun Nair batting at number 6 is also pretty much
2,500 days.
Yeah, which is also pretty much confirmed. Ravindra Jadeja, the lone spinner, so no chance for a Kuldeep Yadav then to make it, even though we had discussed 2 spinners. Maybe in Leeds, India have done it before with Harbhajan in Kumble. But no, they've not done that. And then Shardul Thakur, your bowling all-rounder, which, you had an indication yesterday that he'd be playing. And then your 3 fast bowlers, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj, Prasidh Krishna. So, I mean, if you look at this team, one can't argue with it. My only reservation with this was that if you are going to play Sai Sudharsan, you could have had somebody who was in the pecking order ahead of Sai Sudharsan overall. But I guess, this is a valid question to ask. I guess, being from the same franchise and the same captain in IPL, leading the test team, makes a bit of a difference. So even if there was a 50-50 between Abhimanyu Eashwaran and Sai Sudharsan at the start of this, just because as a captain in the IPL, when a player has done well for you, I mean, I'm not saying there's any bias. I'm not saying it's bias. Is that you feel a bit more confident with that player because he's just now done so well for you as a player in the IPL. So you believe, no, this is the guy. He's solid. He's done so well for me. I trust him a bit more. And so maybe that's why, that's also kind of helped Shubman Gill have a Sai Sudharsan, then make his debut. Maybe if I was there, as I said yesterday, KARUN Nair at 3, I would have put him. He's that, slightly more experience in that sense.
Yeah.
And has been around, Indian cricket for long. So could have been 3. And at 6, then you could have looked at another batter, whether it was Nitish Reddy or whether it was a Jurel or whoever. You could have done something like that. Or a Washington Sundar, whatever you did. But anyway, this is the team that India has gone with. No surprises that this is the team. This is what we had thought yesterday will be the team. This is what the indications coming out of England were also, that this is the team that they would go with. And that's exactly what they've done. So now that India would be batting, my next question is KL Rahul.
Yeah.
Big test coming up for him.
Yes.
No, because this series is overall, as in fact every series is important for him.
This is, in this next 2 years, 1.5 years, right? This is the toughest test that you're getting, because after that you play mostly at home. You're playing 2 versus West Indies. You're taking on World Test champions South Africa for 2 tests at home. But South Africa, we know in Asia, have been really struggling in the past couple of years, except in this cycle. Then your next major assignment is New Zealand in October, November 2026. So this is the most vital series for KL Rahul, because yet again, he will leave us in middle. Okay, did he have a very poor series or did he have a very good series? BGT, very middling. And that is where the frustration stems from. When will KL Rahul deliver an outstanding series? Although in 2018 and 2021, he did have certain good knocks. But yet again, that same middling thing. I hope in this series, he at least has a very consistent one. What is my definition of a consistent series? An average of 45 plus. Because Sena country opening is not easy.
So you're saying about 450-500 runs.
Yes.
But to be fair, what KL can take a lot of confidence from, and that's why we're focusing on him, because he's going to be coming out to bat. And I think first session of the first test match will set the tone for the remainder of the series. So this is going to be an important session coming up. I know that we will say this for a lot of test matches for a lot of days, but quite frankly, because the tone of the test match, see, both teams right now are in a mindset where they're wary of the opposition. They don't know which team that they'll be dealing with. There is all the talk about Indian batting being inexperienced, talk of English bowling being inexperienced. But if the first session, let's say it goes in favor of India, they lose just 1 wicket, then you are 100% confident in your thought process as an Indian team that, this is an inexperienced bowling attack. They had juice on the pitch, they won the toss, they put us in, we've kind of survived it. Now, we can give them a close fight, tooth and nail towards the end of the series. That will give them a lot of confidence. Cut to the other option, we've said inexperienced bowling attack, India should get on a lot of runs. It has the batting lineup, young guns. You end up the first session with 4 down, 5 down, something like that, and that sets you back. And then that sets, doubts in your minds, cobwebs in your mind that, what am I going to, we underestimated this bowling attack. I don't know whether, these conditions we are good enough. There are question marks over Gill, of Jaiswal, of KL Rahul, all of them. That will all come back to haunt you from here on. So the whole mood, the confidence of the team is going to be set in this first session, which is why I'm saying KL Rahul needs to play a very important role, because I know Jaiswal is a game changer, but you know what? If you lose Jaiswal, you're like, okay, he's a guy on a certain day, he'll do well, he'll get you 100, he'll bat aggressively, but you can lose him early also. But KL is that guy who will have to give you stability, one of the senior pros. Yeah. And why I'm saying it's going to be important for him to stay on, because he's shown in the past, whereas there have been doubts again a Jaiswal in moving conditions, or even a Gill in moving conditions. KL is one of those lone players, when the ball is moving, he's done it. Centurion
He's a Sena beast if you look at Rahul.
No, and those conditions where the ball moves, South Africa probably even more so than England. And he's got 100. So, he can be that guy who can calm your nerves, set you in. So, crucial first test match coming in. The only advantage for KL, I think, will be that previous to this, there used to be a sword hanging on his head in other series because he had so many options and used to be like, oh, if he doesn't perform for the next 2 test matches, he's out, somebody else comes in. I think this team, because of what Shubman has said and also because of lack of experience, young team, I think he will get a longer rope and not
my little worry is with the fact that you're playing. Yeah, this series I'm fine with, but if this
I'm only talking about this series.
Because
this
otherwise you're looking at a long season at home, and in that you will then be looking at if a Gaikwad is fit and there's other guys always in Indian cricket who are knocking at the door. Then home conditions, why you turn to KL Rahul is because of his ability to adapt to the conditions, and he's got a proven record overseas. Why he was tried out in Australia a few months back as well, because of him having that ability. Here also he's been given that nod despite tapering after the first couple of matches because he's got the ability and he's got a good record. Now the moment that you come back home, these are not going to be moving conditions, seaming conditions. These are going to be very even conditions and good for batting. Then you will be tempted to try out some of the younger guys perhaps if the series is not to go his way.
That I agree. I mean, this series, at the end of the series, there will be question marks, assessments over a lot of players. Yeah, that I agree with. But in terms of this particular series, which used to happen with him earlier, one test match, 2 test match, out, somebody else comes in, that may not happen.
You saw him bat at multiple positions in the previous test series.
Yeah, I mean, see,
I think here, eyes closed, no matter what happened, first 3 test matches he'll get as an opener for sure. And maybe even the whole series. But if I'm saying first 3, because assuming you're 3-0 down, he's not getting any runs, you never know. Then you can look at it. Change.
If you look at it in the top 6, the most experienced are KL and Rishabh. That's it in this entire batting lineup. Yes. And if you look at exposure wise, KL and Rishabh in England, they have been part of the previous 2 tours as well. And that
Bumrah as well. But you're saying just batting?
Just batting. Just batting. I'm just looking at the top 6. Yes, Jaddu's there. He's been there for most of the tours that have been to England. But I'm talking about only the top 6.
Yeah.
This is where now you shuffled him up and down in the BGT. If he gets a steady run as an opener, I don't see any reason why he should not succeed, because he succeeded in tougher conditions also. In 18 and in 21, KL did succeed.
Yeah, but Siddharth, the problem with him used to be, he used to succeed, you're right, but then taper off. Yeah. That consistency is, he'll get that peak, 100, and then not really.
Which is why I think
a good series.
A 45 plus average in this as an opener. You have to also consider the fact that, okay, as an opener, you just check the records in all the Sena countries. It's not easy as an opener. So that is why I think if he averages 45 plus, then I think he's allayed a lot of fears.
The other thing that goes in favor of him is the fact that he's got runs in the IPL. He looked like one of the better batters, or the most assured batter, I must say, over the first 2 test matches in Australia. So those couple of things hopefully are still with him, plus the form in the IPL, that put together, and the surety. And the surety that this Indian team has now given to him, that there's, as you said, no sword hanging around his head. There's no immediate competition, down his throat. So all of those things put together will definitely put him in a good space.
The one interesting bit that I was seeing, both teams, exactly in terms of balance, both teams are identical. Just look at that balance. So they have one fast bowling all-rounder in Ben Stokes, and they've got SHARDUL. Yes. The only difference is that SHARDUL is more of a bowler than a batter, and Ben Stokes more of a batter than a bowler.
Going to the specialist spinner, that's the only.
But so is India, with the Jadeja. That he can offer with the bat is an added advantage. But if you look at it, one spinner for both teams. India could have looked at 2 spinners or whatever. One spinner for both teams, one fast bowling all-rounder for both teams, and then you've got 3 fast bowlers for both teams. So in terms of balance overall, combination has not changed. We've seen it in the past. Like some team could just rely, like BGT, it was completely different. Australia were playing 3 fast bowler and 1 out and out spinner. India would play whatever, anyone who can bowl a bit, or anyone who can bat a bit, bowler who can bat a bit will play. Any batter who can bowl a bit will play. That mindset. So that's the other good thing that I see, and it's the start of a series, and I'm liking it, is the fact that that will take us back to BGT, and maybe we'll discuss that. In BGT, we saw a change. Now, I don't know whether that was down to a Gautam Gambhir or a Rohit Sharma, but we did see Indian teams thinking corrupted by white ball thinking, where you started playing bits and pieces sort of players to get the balance right. What I'm liking here is that you've gone back to traditional red ball test match thinking, where you are relying on specialists, and even you're looking at an all-rounder, they're genuinely those all-rounders that can offer you both skills. You're not just forcing yourself to call somebody an all-rounder just because he can roll his arm over, or somebody a batting contributor just because he can hang out for a little bit with the bat. So I see that they've gone back to that specialist. Yes, in that attempt to get all specialists, where they should be able to do, and just to explain what I mean by specialist, everyone who's in the team should be able to win you a game with either the bat or the ball. He should have that one skill basis which he'll definitely make the team. Yes, if he with that has an additional skill to offer, that's an added bonus, which India is lucky to have in a Shardul Thakur and a Ravindra Jadeja, but that's an advantage that you have. But primarily, you have to look at somebody who can win you games with either the bat or the ball. And this has to be the thinking in red ball. This is something that India, in a sense, deserted in BGT, went away from it. I'm happy to see they've gone back to that conventional thinking. So now, in that sense, you got a Shardul who can win you a match with the ball. He's done it in the past. So his primary skill, you can select him as a bowler. Yes, he can on an occasion can chip you with the bat and give you runs, is fine. But on an occasion he doesn't do it. You're not, in the sense, cursing yourself that why did I play him? Because he's at least going to fulfill the one role that you picked him for. Ditto for Jadeja. Whether he gets runs or not is a different thing. But on a given day, if it's helping the spinners, he's been known to pick wickets and help you win test matches. So you've gone with a one skill that is 100% going to help you be a match winner. And that's what they've gone for. So I'm liking that. In England's bowling attack, please do tell us a bit about Brydon Cars, Josh Tongue, Bashir and Wokes we know of, because these two have played against India. But here we have two bowlers out of the five that you're playing, and one of them being an all-rounder. Two bowlers will be playing against India for the very first time. Pressure on these two as well.
I mean, see, Brydon Cars, we know him mostly from his exploits in white ball. Josh Tongue, very little is known about him, except for the fact that we got one more player with a body part name playing for England.
he took a fifer against Ireland, I think.
Yes. See, this is the second series that they're playing at home this season. They played one off against Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe were touring there after 22 years. So yes, these players have had red ball experience prior to this also. So yeah, you are looking at them. Josh Tongue, very interesting addition when you look at it. I think one of his relatives also, I think, was a coach, if I'm not mistaken. Josh Tongue.
His dad was, I think.
Which is what. So that's one thing. Wokes been around for 14 years now. And Jamie Smith is also going to play for the first time against India, if I'm not mistaken. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think even Harry Brook is playing against India for the first time. Because he didn't play in 24. Did he play in 22 in Birmingham? Because Brook didn't play in 24. Remember, he had gone out for personal reasons.
Yeah, he went back for personal reasons. You're right.
So, Brook might be playing for the first time against India also. I think that baseball series against Pakistan started in October, if I'm not mistaken.
That one he played.
Yeah, so I think he didn't play.
Got a double 100 as well there.
Yeah, he's playing for the first time against India then. If I have to double check it.
I can't remember that Edgbaston test.
Bairstow.
Bairstow again, centuries both innings that we remember. But Harry Brook's involvement, I have my doubts.
Yeah, Brook has not played. Yes. So that is a staggering statistic. He's not played against India. So that's going to be there. So yeah, Josh Tongue, Brydon Cars, very inexperienced when you look at it. Only Wokes and Bashir. Bashir has taken a 5-wicket haul against India. I think he got it in Ranchi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, in the series here.
Yeah, where Dhruv Jurel rescued you in that match. So, yep. It's a classic case of England's batting versus India's bowling.
It was with regards to Bashir, na, that you'd once put out a tweet.
Mr. Bashir.
a lot of people didn't understand it.
Yeah. The biggest mystery of that series was not the bowling, but who is Mr. Bashir? Yeah. So it's like the 90s. It's one team's batting versus one team's bowling, like what we have. So yep, it's going to be very.
Let's take a few comments before we dive into the action. We love to hear from our extended family what their thoughts are. Okay. Temu wants to know, Sid, your thoughts on South Africa's curse-ending ICC title win?
Finally, after 27 years of heartbreak, they won it. And somewhere, I think 1999, if only they had.
If only, though they've scored so many if onlys. Yeah.
No, there's only 2 if onlys for them. Honestly, it's 99 and 2024.
Why wouldn't you say 2015 as well?
No, there they just reached their.
No, 92?
No, that the rule was
Whatever.
92?
92,
Exactly.
yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
But they weren't the team that they had.
No,
flaws.
they were a good team.
Yeah, they were a good team. They were a good team. But see, somewhere down the line, I felt that they had a golden chance on June 29th. I mean, how could you lose from that particular position here? Come on.
You can direct all the hate on his social media handles.
Oh, seriously. But see, it's fine. I'm glad it happened. You need a strong South Africa to ensure Test cricket thrives. It just can't be three nations dominating at most times. New Zealand, it stays in the southern hemisphere. New Zealand, Australia, and now South Africa. No Northern Hemisphere team has won it yet.
Yeah,
It's like the rugby domination, yeah. When was the last time a Northern Hemisphere side won it? It was in 2003. Since then, it's only been the Southern Hemisphere that's won.
I think primarily the reason for that is that you're playing in England.
Yeah. No, I'll again tell you one more reason. South Africa played a warm-up game against Zimbabwe. And you look at 2021, New Zealand played 2 tests against England to acclimatize. And you look at India and Australia, they didn't do it in both occasions.
That's all right. But Australia didn't do it the time they won it against us.
But India also didn't have that much of an adequate preparation.
No, but I think
both
the fact
times we
that
were
you're playing
preparing for
in England,
IPL, na?
You're playing in England makes a difference. And it's benefited these teams like South Africa, like Australia and New Zealand.
So that's why.
You play the WTC final in India? Played at Firozshah Kotla?
Then hands down, whoever is there with the best spin bowling lineup will win. But see, luckily it's not happening
Sri Lanka
in
will
India.
also have a chance.
Yeah.
Bangladesh?
No, not Bangladesh. They've never won in India. Sri Lanka also never won in India. So that's why. But luckily, we are not going to see the WTC being held in India or in anywhere else. Luckily.
But why are you saying luckily? Why can't India host it? Why only England?
The viewing experience and the fan experience, I am telling you, for a neutral test match at Lords, you see the turnout.
That's true.
You see the viewing experience.
Australia will
also.
argue that do it at MCG.
But they can't play at that time. No?
This time of the year, you can't hold it there as well.
Rain plus footy season.
Also, India also.
You can't host it in New Zealand. Same rugby and winter season.
India also
South Africa
can't. Again, rugby and winter season.
So you can have a test match in winter.
You can host it in a better place, but you can't host it in India. I'm sorry. With the viewing conditions, I saw crystal clear visuals at the ground enjoying. Here I'll only see haze and brown. That's it.
So not in summer will you see haze and brown.
In north it will be there. Every time
we
it will
play
be
it
there.
in south.
No, summer will be rainy, rainy
Hot.
season.
Hot. Too hot.
Why? We'll have it in Dharamshala.
That's a
Beautiful.
good place.
Dharamshala is a good
Yes. I would argue put it in Dharamshala. If you want for scenic, but again, they will argue capacity.
Yeah, but it's not
Anyway,
too bad.
You're saying people don't turn up 30,000.
28,000 odd, whatever capacity that you have in
30.
Dharamshala. Yeah.
30, that will be a good
Instead of
idea. Dharamshala,
30,000 is
Dharamshala
more
is
than
good.
enough.
Yes, please.
And by the way, can I tell you, even if there are like other countries, let's say England make it, or people, their tourists love to go there as well.
Yes.
So they'll come.
Yeah.
Dharamshala, best
They'll come.
place.
They'll have a holiday, Bami Army, whatever. They'll have a holiday and enjoy.
Yeah.
They'll take the Triun trek.
Tirun.
No, but what if another problem which is going to come up? Suppose 1%, looking at the fixtures, what if Pakistan makes it to the WTC final? Then you can't host it in India. I am sorry. Then that same issue will crop up all over again.
And if India aren't playing, imagine you're hosting them.
Exactly.
So find a different window for the final. Do it in Sri Lanka.
That's a good place. Gaul.
Beautiful goal.
Yes.
Beautiful goal. Change the timing of the. Why does it have to happen in June?
No, even now it's happening. It can happen. June, perfect conditions in Sri
No, it
Lanka.
rains. That sometime it rains.
In Sri Lanka,
why can't
rains
it
all
be in
12
March?
months.
Why can't it be in March? Perfect time.
No, there
IPL?
also rains. IPL.
Also,
March to
it'll
May.
have to happen.
Okay, we'll do December.
Rain in Sri Lanka. It rains all 12 months. You get southwest and you get northeast monsoon in Sri Lanka. Both. So that's the problem. England, let's make it here. I mean, Oval, Lords, best conditions.
Okay. Jaspir Singh is saying, Nikhil, can you guess when was the last time batter with less than 40 average made it to the ICC?
Made it to the Indian cricket test.
Oh, because Sai has made
Sai
it
is
now.
39.86.
But that's exactly what I was arguing. People don't like it. I mean,
Hanuma Vihari?
may have.
Less than 40 in first class crowd? No, I think he had 40 plus if I'm not
I'm
mistaken.
sure he would have.
Yeah.
Sure he would.
39.86.
Let's not even talk about the Sarfarazes and all because
They have
it's
70,
double,
80, yeah.
double of 40.
Yeah.
Okay, quick comments before we wind up. Okay, Nashley is saying these young guns don't have to prove the experts wrong, but also shut every critic's mouth, be it fans or non-fan scribbers. So basically, he's backing this young team to
Good.
shut everyone's mouth. Piyush Nandre says India 78 for 4 at the end of a session. Rahul, Gill, Sudarshan and Nair will be in the pavilion in this
Ouch.
session only. Oh my God.
Ouch.
Rajesh Kumar Patra, why is Karun Nair ahead of Dhruv Jurel? Dhruv is playing with India recently in Test and he's shown good form also. Rajesh, you're right. In fact, Rajesh, when we picked our team, we had a Jurel in there.
Yeah.
But I guess, the double 100 that he got in the practice game probably went a long way.
And I think the idea is to infuse some sort of experience as well in this side. At
Yeah.
the moment, there's too many young batters. So perhaps that's why.
Mr. Terrific is picked, it's just vanished
54 for 3. Ouch.
in the session, he feels.
78 for 4, Piyush Nandre is saying. Although it's a big improvement. Last time.
That we've taken.
Yeah, because in 2020 you folded up for 76.
76, yeah.
So that's why.
And the first boundaries in, although streaky.
That's
Okay.
okay. That's okay.
Ramachandran is saying, people saying England bowling is weak, forgetting about Ben Stokes. He's a very good and dangerous bowler. Don't forget Stokes' 4-wicket haul helped win the Edgbaston 2018 defending one.
But Ramcharan, Stokes in 2018 didn't have a chronic knee problem. Stokes in 2025 has got a chronic knee problem.
Yes, I agree. But for this particular series, he's been really building it up. He's lost a lot of weight. He's been bowling a lot.
He quit alcohol.
He quit alcohol, yeah.
Yeah, so he's really charged up.
Yeah,
Really
but
charged up.
I don't know if he'll be in rhythm. That's the problem.
Sanket Joshi has gone with 61 for 1 as his predictions. Time that we make our predictions as well.
And Jeevan Krishna says India will be all out for 150.
Oh. I don't know about this. Do we do session by session or do end of day?
You know, we could do a session prediction.
Jeevan again's gone with that. Yeah, sure, go for it.
Session by session.
50 for 5, yeah. Jeevan, I see so much of
70 for 1.
70 for 1 is Siddharth's prediction. Yes.
I'll go 70. I'll go 69 for no loss.
69 for no loss.
69 for no loss. I'm going... $79 for 3.
3. Ooh.
Oh.
Then we're seeing more than just Karun Nair bat.
I think so.
Hey Bhagwan.
Piyush has picked Shardul will be the impact player.
Yep. Shardul does have a good record in England. But he'll be the impact player at Oval.
Thank God it's
Name a pavilion after Shardul Thakur, yeah.
Thank God it's the season of impact player and not impact sub.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, chalo, on that note, we're going to say bye-bye to you guys. Thank you for your company. We really want to watch the test match, enjoy it. I'm sure you guys want to do the same. We'll be back at lunchtime. Look forward to your company then.
5:30 PM IST. Yep. See you then. Bye-bye.